Hi scientists! Today we're going to be doing an experiment with water density. I'm going to fill up this flask on the left with some hot water from my tea kettle. On the right hand side, I'm going to fill up that flask with some ice water. Now, these two flasks of water look the same, but their densities are very different. Density is how many molecules are packed into a certain area. And when something is hot, the molecules are moving really fast and they're spread apart, so they're actually less dense because there are fewer molecules in the same amount of volume. Now, on this right-hand side, the water is cold and the molecules are packed very tightly together because they're moving slowly, so the water on the right is actually more dense. Now, this difference in density is incredibly important for how our planet works. In the ocean, density helps drive huge currents that move heat around the world and keep our climate in balance. But right now in the United States, it's autumn, and density is playing a really important role in our lakes. All summer long, lakes are layered like a cake with the coldest water on the bottom and the warm water on top. That's because the sun is shining on the warm water. While the bottom layer stays cold and heavy, there's very little mixing in between the bottom and the top layer. As you can see here, when I put this warm water on top of the cold water, they are hardly mixing at all. You can see there's a very tiny bit of green where they're mixing, but otherwise they don't mix at all, and that is what happens to our lakes in the summer. The warm water stays on top, which is great for swimming, but it's not so good for the fish below because the oxygen mostly stays in the surface of the water. Now, in the autumn, the top of the water starts to cool down and it becomes more dense until it's the same density as the water below. And when that happens, the layers will mix together in a process called lake turnover. This is where oxygen from the surface gets carried down into the deep water and nutrients from the bottom will rise up towards the top. This refreshes the entire lake, giving fish and plants what they need to survive through the winter. You can try this experiment at home using 2 of the same sized bottles, using food coloring, and an index card to put in between the bottles while you try to get them on top of one another. Full instructions are on our website. And until next time, keep discovering.